We take single process white solid color paint as an example when we explain the whole panel spraying. The solid color coating shall be sprayed for 3 layers so as to generate gloss. In the example of whole panel spraying, we will explain in sequence: spray gun adjusting and setting, mist spray spraying, colored spraying, modified spraying, and drying. In the following, we will explain the details by taking as example the exterior door panels sprayed with solid color paints. In case of a double-step coating, the work contents of base coat spraying and varnish coat spraying are the same. Now we explain the steps in sequence. Check the spray gun for spray condition and adjust the spray gun, test the spray gun, and check whether or not it can form normal spraying breath. If problems, such as abnormal spraying breath pattern, take place at that time, clean the spray gun and check the spraying breath over again. According to the painting status of top coat, tests can be conducted on a certain position. For example, on masking paper which does not affect the quality after spraying, or on the baking room wall after masking paper is affixed. Panel spraying sequence. Spray the edges before you spray the plane. If the spraying plane is reversed, that is, if you spray the plane before the edge, the mist will adhere to the plane and lower the quality. Or the paint tends to deposit on the surface and causes the problems such as dust spots. The spray gun shall also be moved as per the order from top to bottom. The edge of the panel does not need to be painted each time, and excessive spraying will result in expressive coating, thickness, or sagging. Requiring overlay by 1/2 of spray coating so as to form thin coating. During spraying, maintain the preset spraying state and use a fluorescent lamp to check the surface gloss and texture, and spray the surface to make the coating glossy. Failure to perform uniform spraying makes the coating produce runs or rough texture. Appropriate flash drying time shall be reserved after spraying. Check the drying condition of the coating in a position where the quality will not be affected, for example, the position covered or masked by assembly parts. If fine lines can still be pulled out when you touch the paint by hand, it still needs to be dried. If the coating does not adhere to the finger, then spray the coating of the next layer. The spraying width shall be overlapped by 2/3 and shall be sprayed to a degree at which gloss is created. Keep the preset spraying state and check the gloss and texture during spraying. If the projection of post-spray texture is lower than the undamaged area, the modified post-spray texture will not conform to the texture in the undamaged positions, and such a case will also tend to cause runs. Reserve a certain flash drying time. Insufficient flash drying time might cause the modified spraying to give rise to runs. Check and confirm that drying reaches the level that the surface can be touched, and continue the modified spraying. The emphasis of texture modified spraying is to ensure that the post-spray brightness and coating film texture conform to those of adjacent panels. The spraying width shall be overlapped by 2/3, and spraying shall be performed to form reasonable paint film brightness. For modified spraying, the steel panels shall be divided into 3 parts that shall be checked for spraying conditions separately. First, spray upper 1/3 portion such that it matches with the texture in the undamaged area. Illuminate the coating surface using a fluorescent lamp or other light source and quickly check the texture for any problems. If the texture in any position is different at this point, necessary amount of paint shall be added quickly to these positions so as to conform to the entire surface texture. If the gloss and texture are consistent, start spraying a next divided portion. Next, spray the middle 1/3 portion. Check the mist position of the upper coating and start spraying with spraying breath overlapped. When the spraying of middle 1/3 portion is over, check the texture again, and continue spraying a next portion till gloss is created if no problem is found. If spraying of the entire panel is finished at one go without checks, problems may arise. If there is rough textured spots in the upper zones, and whole panel spraying is already performed, natural transition cannot be formed in the positions where repair spraying is over, and rough texture may occur. Allow a standing time of 10 to 20 minutes in the finished baking room, and perform surface drying at 60 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. It is necessary to allow a certain reserved curing time according to the description of product manual before forced drying of steel panel is stated.